Hello, my name is Hakon and welcome back to my channel and another little video on the Linnstrument. Last week I made a video where I talked a little bit about my experiences of using this device now for the last 2 years. And today I thought I'd follow up with a little tutorial, something that you may or may not know about the Linnstrument, but I think it's quite a useful feature. Now, if you want to learn to play a new track, or if you want to just familiarize yourself better with playing the Linnstrument, or if you actually have problems sight reading at the best of times, regardless of what instrument you're playing, this feature is something that may be just right for you. Because what the Linnstrument can do is if you send MIDI notes to it. So not sending out, of course, you do that when you play it, but if you have a MIDI generating device that sends MIDI to through USB, which of course is bidirectional or in the MIDI input of the Linnstrument, you will get the Linnstrument to display the notes that are sent to it. So I'm going to show you now. I've got a new Reaper project open. This will, of course, work slightly differently in different digital audio workstations. The general principle will be the same. You need to have the Linnstrument connected to the computer, and you need, of course, you can use external MIDI generating devices too, but let's for a moment say that we are going to use the computer. Linnstrument needs to be enabled as a MIDI device. And you also need a MIDI track to send to it. And you will need to set up that track to send MIDI data to the Linnstrument. So in Reaper, what you do is you go into the routing tab of the track and you set up here MIDI hardware output and set that to Linnstrument MIDI. That's how it should show up in some way or form in any digital audio workstation. And what happens now when I press play is it shows the notes. And of course, this being a digital audio workstation, it's easy to change the tempo if you want to slow it down or speed it up. And you can then try to practice playing and of course, now you can hear the sound of the track you're trying to learn, but of course, a nice way to do it is to add another track. So I'm just going to do insert virtual instrument on new track now. I'm going to do Piano Tech 5. I'm just going to do a single track, and I'm going to switch off that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to mute the MIDI track, because if you mute it, it will not send MIDI signals. So what you do is you reduce the track volume. So I'm just going to go do the volume down to 0. So now it will play, but it will not be audible. Like so. And that's how it works. So then you can practice your new tracks, and it will be quite good. Now you may notice actually now there's a little bit of a lag between my computer and the Linnstrument, and that is because I wanted to record the audio in the screen grab now, which means I had to put the sound to direct sound, which introduces a lot of latency. If you keep it on your best ACO driver, which is what you should be doing in your digital audio workstation when doing things like this, then you will have a very low latency, even with ACO for all as well, if you don't have any other drivers. So that's really what I wanted to show you today. Very useful if you have problems sight reading, if you want to learn an instrument, or if you want to learn a new track on it. And you can learn it visually rather than trying to correlate sheet music with what's going on the grid, which for some people is actually impossible. There are composers, musicians, singers who absolutely can't read sheet music, and they are brilliant musicians. And sometimes it gives you, well, there are, of course, really good things that can be gained from learning to play sheet music or play from sheet music, but if you don't know how to read sheet music particularly well, then of course you learn everything by heart, which can be a good thing as well. So right, that's all I wanted to show you today. I hope you found that useful, interesting, or entertaining. And if you did enjoy this, please like, share, comment, subscribe, join me on Patreon, buy me a coffee, or and all those other things that people do on YouTube. And I will see you in my next video. So thank you for watching, and goodbye for now.